Okay, so today we're going to be talking about another type of factoring. This is factoring when you have a trinomial in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. This is what we call standard form. Okay, so here our a would be 1, b would be 7, and c is 12. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need to do to factor is look at the last number and find the factors of 12. Okay, and I would like for you to write them like this. We have 1 times 12, we have 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Okay, these are all of the factors of 12. Now, which two factors can I add or subtract that will give me the middle number, which is 7? Okay, well, that's 3 and 4. Okay, when I add 3 plus 4, it's going to give me 7. At the same time, when I multiply 3 times 4, that will give me 12, which is C in the trinomial. Okay? So my first step will be to rewrite the problem. I'm going to start with x squared. X squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. Notice here that I have not solved anything. The only thing that I've done is rewrote the problem. Now, when I could actually combine like terms to get what I started out with. Okay? So my next step will be group. And I'm going to group the first two terms and the last two terms. Then my next step would be factor. Okay? So I'm going to factor the first set of parentheses. Okay? What can I factor? What is their greatest common factor? X. What can I do to x to get x squared? Multiply by x. What can I do to x to get 3x? Multiply by 3. I'm going to bring this plus sign down and factor the second set of parentheses. My greatest common factor here is 4. What can I do to 4 to get 4x? Multiply by x. What can I do to 4 to get 12? Multiply by 3. Okay? My next step would be to check it. Okay? Now, the way that I check it for this particular class, these two will always be the same. If they're not the same, then you have made a mistake. Okay? So our final answer, which would be our last step, I need one of these, which is x plus 3. And then I'm going to use x plus 4. And that would be my final answer. Okay? Now, I can check it again. There is another way to check the answer to see if you have gotten it right. This should look familiar to you. Okay? This is where we started some time ago. Now, if I take these two and use the FOA method, this is going to be x times x, x squared. X times 4, 4x. 3 times x, 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. When I combine like terms, my answer will be x squared plus 7x plus 12, which is exactly what I started out with. Okay? Again, this is kindergarten style. I broke it down so that you can understand the first problem. But this is my final answer. X plus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, let's try another one. Again, This is in standard form. I'm going to look at the last number, which is C, and 25. So list my factors. 1 times 25 and 5 times 5. Okay? Which two numbers can I add or subtract that will give me a negative 10? Okay? Well, I can use 5 and 5. Be careful. How will I get negative 10? Well, negative 5 minus 5 will give me negative 10. And at the same time, when I multiply negative 5 times negative 5, that will give me 25, which is the last number in the trinomial. So again, first step, rewrite. This will be k squared minus 5k minus 5k plus 25. The next step is to group. First 2, second 2. What is my greatest common factor? K. What can I do to k to get k squared? Multiply by k. What can I do to k to get negative 5k? Multiply by a negative 5. Bring down the subtraction sign. My greatest common factor here is 5. What can I do to negative 5 to get negative 5k? Multiply by k. What can I do to negative 5 to get a positive 25? I can multiply it by negative 5. Okay? Now, I want to point out here, again, there's a lot of check systems. If I use the distributive property here, k times k, k squared. K times negative 5, negative 5k. You should always be able to get back to what you started out with. Okay? My final answer here is going to be k minus 5 times k minus 5. Again, I'm using one of these and then k minus 5. Another way that I can rewrite this, which should seem familiar to you, is k minus 5 squared. Okay, let's try this example. I have 20, list the factors, 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Make sure you list all of the factors. Which 2 can I use? That will give me an 8, positive 8. I can use 2 and 10. How will I get a positive 8? Let's try 10 minus 2. That will give me 8. That is the same thing as negative 2 plus 10. I'm going to get 8. At the same time, 10 times a negative 2 is a negative 20, which is what I need here. Okay? All right. Rewrite m squared plus 10m minus 2m minus 20. Next step is to group. What can I factor here? An m. What can I do to m to get m squared? Multiply by m. What can I do to m to get 10m? Multiply by a positive 10. Bring down the subtraction sign. Okay? Factor this second set of parentheses. I can factor a 2. What can I do to negative 2 to get negative 2m? Multiply by m. What can I do to negative 2 to get a negative 20? I can multiply it by positive 10. Again, check system. Okay? And my final answer is m minus 2 times m plus 10. Now, this is a little different. This time, A is 6. But I want to go back and point something out. You will still do these the exact, or that problem the exact same way. If you'll notice, we said that A here is 1. So really we're multiplying 1 times 25 and getting 25. Here, 1 times negative, or 1 times 20, 20. So here, 6 times 7, 42. And it's the same exact steps. List the factors. I have 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, 6 and 7. Okay, which 2 am I going to use? That will give me a positive 23. Okay, I can use 2 and 21. First step, rewrite. Oh, most important step. I was about to forget. 2 times 21 is going to give me 42, which is what I need. As well, how will I get a positive 23? 2 plus 21. Okay, rewrite. 6n squared plus 2n plus 21n plus 7. Okay, group. Factor. My greatest common factor here is 2n. What can I do to 2n to get 6n squared? Multiply by 3n. What can I do to 2n to get a positive 2n? Multiply by 1. Okay? Factor the second set of parentheses. My greatest common factor here would be a 7. Okay? What can I do to 7 to get 21n? That's 3n. And what can I do to 7 to get 7? Multiply by 1. Okay? My check system, so far so good. So my answer is 2n plus 7 and 3n, or times 3n plus 1. Okay, let's try another here. So 7 times 8 will give me 56. List the factors. 1 and 56. Let's see. 2 goes into there 28 times. 3 cannot go into there. 4. No, 7 and 8. 4 will go in there actually 14 times. Okay, 3 will not. Okay, which 2 can I use? That will give me a negative 26. I want a negative 26, so I already had it in the beginning. Okay, so 2 and 28. 2 minus 28 will give me a negative 26. Okay, at the same time, 2 times negative 28 will give me a negative 56, which 7 times negative 8, negative 56. Okay, rewrite 7x squared plus 2x minus 28x minus 8. Okay, group. And my greatest common factor here would be x. What can I do to x to get 7x squared? Multiply by 7x. What can I do to x to get 2x? Multiply by 2. Let's try. Okay, 4 will go into negative 28 7 times, or my greatest common factor here is negative 4. What can I do to negative 4 to get negative 28x? That would be 7x. What can I do to negative 4 to get negative 8? Multiply by 2. My final answer would be x minus 4 times 7x plus 2. Okay, one last problem. This is our last number. We're going to list the factors of 10. 1 times 10, 2 times 5. Which 2 am I going to use? Of course, 2 and 5. 2 plus 5 will give me 7, and 2 times 5 will give me 10. Okay? So, rewrite group G plus 2, G being my greatest common factor. Bring down the plus sign. Greatest common factor here is 5. G plus 2. So, G plus 5 times G plus 2. Again, check system. I just had to go back and make sure that my steps were correct. This would be my final answer. So, your assignment is this. Please work all of the problems and show all of your work.